Shut up and sit down.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm Mac.
And I'm Shane.
And we're YGOanimeDecksNDuels, and we got our deck profile here on Yusei's Fudo's deck. We've got quite a few synchros in Yusei's deck, and after this video, at the end of this video, we will have a secret with upcoming decks and duels that we'll be having, or coming up after this video, so make sure to watch that. So starting off the deck profile, we got Stardust Dragon. Pretty self-explanatory. Yusei's boss monster. You see Stardust so many times throughout the anime, and it's his signer dragon. Really awesome. I love Stardust Dragon. And then we got Junk Warrior, the first synchro monster used in Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds. Oh, I mean, this card, I just can't talk enough about how cool he is. I love Junk Warrior, and I love the kind of the holo tint we got to him. He's really sweet. Then next we got Nitro Warrior. Has to be someone with Nitro Synchron. He's got a really cool effect because if you activate a spell card, he gains 1,000 attack. I really like that. So he has 3,800, so you can trump over some other bigger monsters. So he's really cool. Turbo Warrior. I don't remember who he used us against at the first, but I do remember whenever he played this card, and this card is super fucking cool too. I like a Yusei's deck. A Yusei deck's kind of a lot of monster cards that are like kind of remind me of machines and things like that. And not only that, but he has some like weaker monsters that just kind of make his deck up to make what it is. We have Armory Arm. He used that and equipped it to Junk Warrior a couple times. Then Drill Warrior. You have to use Jill Synchron and one other non-tuner monster. He's got a decent effect. I don't know. I kind of like his effect. He's not really the most helpful at all times. Junk Garden. Now, I do love this card. I like synchro monsters that have high defense points because I think that's a really cool, unique thing about him. And plus, he has kind of a secret rare shine, I'd call it. I don't really know if that's exactly right or not, but I think he's really sweet. And yeah, so moving on, we have Junk Berserker. He had to use Junk Synchron with to make 2,700 attack, and you can remove or play one Junk monster from your graveyard to select one face-up monster your opponent controls. That monster loses attack equal to the remove from play monster. So that's a really sweet ass effect. So like say if Jack summoned Red Dragon Archfiend, you use Junk Berserker to lower him down. That's sick. And then we had Junk Destroyer, another Junk Synchron hitter. Junk Synchron is so a big part of this deck. We really debated using 2 Junk Synchrons, and we might still at this point because Yusei deck is honestly a little weak. Jack Atlas and Kiza's decks are much stronger 5Ds decks with the total cards and stuff, especially since Akiza didn't use many cards and they work really well together. So Yusei is about the weakest, so we are still doing some editing at the time, but right now at this point, this is our Yusei deck. Next, we have Road Warrior. You have to use Road Synchron and 2 more non-tuner monsters. Once per turn, you can special summon 1 level 2 or Warrior type or Machine type monster from your deck. So that's a super sick effect. Plus, he has 3,000 attack. Junk Archer, another Junk Synchron hitter. You have so many of these. You're going to see these. The more duels we come out with Yusei, the more you're going to see these guys come out. And, it's really cool to be able to see them. I love all of Yusei's synchro monsters. Then we have Formula Synchron. He's a little hard to get on the field, actually, because he only has 2 stars. But I kind of like his effect. It's all right. When this card is synchro summoned, you can draw 1 card during your opponent's main phase. You can immediately activate this effect. Resolution. Synchro summon using this card you control. This is a quick effect. So you can synchro summon them in your opponent's turn, which is kind of cool, but most time, I don't know, it doesn't really have a purpose, but it's kind of cool to have in there, yes.
He's a cool looking card, too. That's a neat card.
Yeah, I like him. It kind of goes with the flow of Yusei's deck. And then we have, starting off with our stronger Yusei cards, the Shooting Star Dragon. You have to have Stardust and another synchro monster on your side of the field. I won't read his effect because it's kind of long, but, these are pretty much Stardust Dragon beat the hell up. So that's what I kind of think of them as. And then finally we have Shooting Quasar Dragon. I think that's how you say that. I'm not really sure. 4,000 attack, 4,000 defense. Plus he has a super good effect. So if you get this monster out, you're going to be fucking rolling in high cotton. Next, we're starting off with his monsters. We're just got done with all the synchros. We've got Speed Warrior, the first card Yusei used in Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds. I absolutely love this card. He's a really cool monster, and I like his effect. During the battle phase of the turn, you normal summon this card, you can double its original attack until the end of the battle phase. So pretty cool if you can just, normal summon and knock over something a little heavier. I like that effect, actually. Then we have, like we were saying earlier, Junk Synchron. We're still debating whether running 2 of these guys or not, and we might change that. So if you ever do an updated deck profile, there might be 2 Junk Synchrons in there, so don't be shocked. But he's very important in the deck, and he's got a really cool effect, too. We got Turbo Booster, the card Riley gave Yusei before Yusei went to to New Domino, And I don't know, his effect's alright. He's kind of a synchro summon, you know, sacrifice, you call him, I guess. Quillbolt Hedgehog. I love this card. He's got a super sweet effect. If you control a face-up tuner monster, you can special summon this card from your graveyard. So what I like to do is summon him, have him destroyed in the graveyard. Then whenever I'm getting ready to synchro summon a monster, I'll summon him back out of my graveyard and use him as a synchro sacrifice. Pretty sweet.
He's another neat-looking card, too.
He definitely is. Sonic Chick, the obnoxious Celtic guard of Yusei the deck. This card cannot be destroyed by battle with a monster that has 1900 attack points or more. So really sweet. He kind of helps you stall out a little bit, and he can help in, you know, harder situations. Shield Warrior, a card that Yusei didn't use as much, but he does have a pretty good purpose in the deck. He's a 3-star monster, 1600 defense, so that's always a good thing. Turret Warrior, I love this card, especially his effect, because if you can, like I did in my duel against Jack Atlas. If you sacrifice Junk Warrior for Turret Warrior, then you have 3,500 attack points right there. So Turret Warrior is a really good card. I've used that combo quite a few times when we duel with him. It's a really sweet effect. Fortress Warrior. I believe Yusei uses against Jack Atlas in their Turbo Duel for the championship in the first season. I do believe. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong on that, but I do believe that was the first time he used that card. Max Warrior. Now this card is so fucking cool. 1800 attack. You know, Yusei's monsters are for the most part, pretty damn weak. So, especially 4-star wise. So, an 1800 attack monster is very good for Yusei's deck. This also might be another card I might be considered running 2 of. Me and Shane might talk that through, but you know, 1800 attack is pretty good, and he can top over some stronger things. Next is Rapid Warrior. During your main phase 1, you can activate this card's effect. If you do, it can attack your opponent directly this turn. Other monsters can attack during the turn you activate this card. So you can just hit your opponent for 1200. That's pretty cool, especially if you have like Sonic Chick on the field. And you know, so you're not going to attack Sonic Chick anyway, so you can use Rapid Warrior to attack a couple times. I like that. I like that effect. Next is Salvage Warrior. This card is really, really, really fucking good. He's a 1 sacrifice monster, which, you know, it kind of sucks because Yusei's decks are most of the time getting burned to hell, but this is actually really good because when this card distributes something, you can special summon 1 tuner monster from your hand or graveyard. So then you can secret summon like Turbo Warrior or Nitro Synchron or somebody else like that if you have the appropriate cards, you know, with where you're at. Earthquake Giant. This is a pretty cool card. Once per turn when the battle position of this card is changed, you can select 1 monster your opponent controls and change its battle position. I believe we did that once against Red Dragon Archfiend. I changed him to defense position and destroyed him, I believe. And this effect's pretty sweet. You know, actually, I can see this card being more in Jack's deck because he kind of looks like a golem. But he's in Yusei, so I guess we'll have to go with that. Tuning Wear. I love this card. Yusei needs draw power because Yusei's deck sucks. So this kind of gives you a 1-card draw power if you synchro summon with this monster. I like that about Tuning Wear. Stronghold Guardian. This is the card, I believe he used this against Jack, actually. It was either him or the other warrior guy. I can't remember. It was one of the two, but I just remember it was something carrying something. So yeah, that's pretty much where he's at.
And I like this card. It's one of my favorite Yusei cards, just because, I don't know, it's cool looking as a castle, and it's got a neat effect, in my opinion.
He does have really neat effect. I like him, too. Shield Wing. This card is another obnoxious Celtic guard. Twice per turn, this card cannot be destroyed by battle. 900 defense, you know, that's pretty hard to top over, so it's kind of hard for Jack Atlas that runs mostly 1800 monster to get over, right? Yeah, okay. AD Changer. I used to think this card was called AC Changer, you know, like a car AC, until I was corrected. That's Attack and Defense Changer. I'm an idiot. That's an A and that's a D. I don't know what the hell I'm thinking, but yeah, his name pretty much says what he does. Synchron Explorer. The only card we run in Yusei's deck that has the word Synchron at the front of the name instead of at the back of the name. Pretty cool card, and I think he looks pretty sweet. I like him. I like the hollow effect. You guys can really see that really well in the light right there. I mean, look at that shine. I'll even give you guys some cloud coverage to see how that looks like that. Really cool card. Road Synchron. Awesome card, especially if you get out Road Warrior with your Synchro Fusion, or Synchro Summon, I'm sorry. He is super badass, and I really like him. Then we got Turbo Synchron, you know, your Turbo Warrior hitter. Turbo Synchron is super cool. We used him against Jack. He actually destroyed a Mad
Archfiend.
Yeah, Mad Archfiend.
Got to see him destroy a monster.
Which never happens. He's hilarious. I think he's actually pretty cool looking too. He kind of reminds me of like a Metabot or something. Or what were those called? Yeah, Metabots, weren't they? Mm-hmm. The cartoon? Yeah, that's what he kind of reminds me of. I kind of like that. Nitro Synchron. Oh, this card. Looks like a can of pop, but, you know, he's nitrous. So, he's pretty cool. I like him. Actually, you know, I don't know if I like him or not. He's okay. Another draw power card, though, so that's kind of helpful. Quick Draw Synchron. You probably won't see us use him very much. If we do, it's just because the card's unfolded outright. Most of the time, I kind of see him set in my hand because he's a sacrifice. But other times, you know, he has his purposes. But most of the time, I just see him kind of as a spot in my hand that I kind of need to get rid of. I don't know why he's like that, but I kind of wish he wasn't. And then we have Unknown Synchron. This is another card I debated having in the deck or not. If your opponent controls a monster and you control no monster, you special summon this card from your hand, you can only use the effect of Unknown Synchron once per duel. I mean, you can kind of see where it's beneficial, but really 1 star, 0 defense, 0 attack, most of the time is not very helpful. You might be able to save your life points a couple times with him. We keep him in there because he looks really sweet. And I don't know, like I said, he has a few uses, but not that many. So, next is Hyper Synchron. I like this card. I really do like the looks of this card. He kind of reminds me of, there was a Digimon that I forgot what it used to look like. But anyways, he reminds me of a Digimon. I don't remember the Digimon's name, but he's like Electrocution something. I don't know. From the first season of Digimon, that's the only Digimon season I watched. But that's what he kind of reminds me of. It wasn't Kabutops, that's a Pokemon. I don't remember what the fuck his name was. Then we got Bree Synchron. 1500 attack, you know, that's another one that uses a little bit stronger monsters. So I like him, and I like his hollow fold or form or whatever you want to call that. It looks pretty cool, and he's kind of like a jet. And I don't know. I think that card looks like a transformer, actually, in my opinion. So
it kind of looks like Utopia a little bit.
Yeah,
like
it kind of does actually.
Like a miniature dwarf Utopia.
Dwarf Utopia. That's what his new nickname is from now on. I like that. Drill Synchron. We used him in our last duel to get out Stardust Dragon. That was fucking awesome. Drill Synchron, I don't know. He's okay. 3-star tuner can actually come in handy with some of the cards we have. He's okay, I guess.
I thought of this joke earlier, and I think it's kind of funny. You know, if he had to go to the bathroom and wipe his ass, he'd have a terrible time.
He would, especially because his feet are like tracks, so backing up the toilet would be a difficult time. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, we're done with that. Sorry, guys. Our last monster in Yusei's deck is Level Warrior. What's that, level bug or something? Level insect?
There's Level Eater, which is like a bug.
Yeah, we thought about putting him in the deck so that way we have 2 level cards, but we decided not to. His effect is a lot more helpful than the level bug thing, so we like him, and I don't know, he kind of reminds me like an Elemental Hero card, and I like that, and I don't know why we're doing this deck profile of cards, what they look like, but that's what we're doing, so that's what we're going to go with. Then we have coming up in our spell cards, we have Synchro Blast Wave. Awesome card. This really changes the outcome of that duel, the last duel.
It really did.
And the fact that it has Junk Warrior on the front makes the card even that much more badass. I love Junk Warrior. I think Shane can say the same thing. Junk Warrior is a super cool card, and he's easy to get out, too, and that's what I really like about him.
Took out Crimson Blader like it was nothing.
Yeah, I did, and that really helped out things, too. It helped me win. Another card we used, Half Shut. A target 1 phase of monster field that cannot be destroyed by battle, but its attack is halved until the end phase. So you can see where that comes in pretty beneficial. I think I used that on Stardust, didn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I did use that against
you
on Stardust.
Stardust to save him from
being destroyed.
Red Dragon Archfiend.
Yeah, so that was really cool, and it's a quick activate, so you can get that off pretty quick. And I really like that card, actually. Battle Tune. Now, this card right here, it's got Nitro Synchro on it, so obviously you know it's a badass card. But this card actually is a really freaking good card. You know, you can remove from play 1 tuner monster from your graveyard, target 1 face-up monster you control. It gains attack equal to the removed monster's attack. So that is a really beneficial card that can come in handy to get over things. Fighting Spirit, another card I used against Jack Atlas. You guys seen how it worked in the duel. That's pretty cool. One of my favorite Yusei cards. I wish I could have used it in that duel we recorded and put it online. But Double Summon. You can normal summon 1 additional time this turn, so you can only gain this effect once per turn. So what you do is like you summon one of your weaker dudes, sacrifice them to normal summon another monster. So that comes in really handy. I like that card too. Double Summon's a super good card. And I don't know if many people use it competitive or not, but I would consider using competitive because it's really good actually. Domino Effect. I like this card because it says Domino in the name, which is kind of reminds me of like New Domino City, and I think that might be the reason they incorporated this card in Yusei's deck. It's got a pretty sweet effect, and I like the picture on it. I like the 2 warriors with the dominoes and you knock them over. I think that's pretty sweet. Tuning, a really, really, really good card. This card allows you to add 1 Synchron tuner monster from your deck to your hand, then send the top card of your deck to the graveyard. So this card can come in very beneficial with synchro summoning monsters, and that's another reason we run that card in the deck. It's really good. I like it. Battle Waltz. This is a good card too. I'm sure you guys have seen this. This is used in competitive a few times, but it's a good card. Release Restraint Wave. This is kind of like Yusei's Heavy Storm or Mystical Space Typhoon, you could call it, I guess. Select one face-up equipped spell card you control, destroy it, and destroy all set spell trap cards your opponent controls. So you can see where that comes in pretty powerful and beneficial, and I really like that card, actually. Pretty sweet looking. Junk Barrage. It's our final spell card. I like to equip this to Junk Warrior, actually. When the equipped monster destroys a monster by battle and sends a graveyard, inflict damage to your opponent equal to half of the destroyed monster's attack. Most of the time, I'm summoning out Junk Warrior more than any of the other Synchro monsters just because he's easier to get out. And I don't know, I like Junk Barrage. I think it's kind of a cool card. And it kind of goes along with Yusei's deck, just pretty much junk. So, starting off with our trap cards, we got Miracle's Wake. We use this also in our duel against Jack that we put online. And this is a really sweet card. It's the Monster Reborn of Yusei's deck, except it's a trap card. So yeah.
It kind of pissed me off in that duel too.
Yes.
I was like, yeah, that card's gone. And then, no, he brought it back.
And then coming back to a spell card, we have Double Cyclone. I actually had those cards mixed up, guys, but for my deck order. But Double Cyclone is a pretty cool card. Select one spell or trap card you control and destroy one spell or trap card your opponent controls. Both the selected cards are destroyed. Pretty good card. Limiter Overload. Now this card can come in very handy, especially with getting out your Speed Warrior. I like to keep the second I draw this card, I'm gonna have it face down on the field. You know, in case you know your opponent happens to destroy one of your cards, it really comes in beneficial. And I like the color tint of the card, pretty sweet. And now for Yusei's best trap, which is undeniable, Scrap Iron Scarecrow. This card is so fucking sick. This card pretty much, negates your opponent's attack, then it's set back face down this turn. It's super sweet, and I like rolling with that card. That's a sweet-ass card.
Card's annoying.
It is annoying. Graceful Revival, I'm sorry. Pretty much another Monster Reborn hitter, you could call it, I guess. That's a trap form.
And I like how they kept up with the Graceful thing through the different series.
Yeah, the different series of the anime. That's a good point.
Graceful Dice, Graceful Charity. I mean, they're just...
Actually, speaking of the devil, is that Graceful Dice here in the background? The Graceful Dice Angel?
No, it kind of looks like him.
I don't know. Or is he green?
Look at it. I think they're green.
I think he's green too, actually. Sorry, guys. Never mind. Forget me. I'm on drugs. No, I'm actually not.
The wings,
Yeah, the Angel Wings got me. Power Frame. This is a really good card. You guys probably know what this does. This is a super good card to get out. I like this card a lot.
I like the picture in this card. It's really neat.
Yeah, I don't know why it's called Power Frame. It should be a car frame instead of that, squared frame, but it's alright. Miracle Lotus. Now, this is a cool thing. Look at the card that's on there. Buster Blader. So, of course, Yusei deck has to have a card that reminds you of Yugi. So, they threw this in there so that way when people are watching the show, they're like, oh my god, that looks like Yugi's card. That's why they did that. Defense Draw. This card, I don't know, it has its times. It can be useful. I don't know. It's okay. It's alright. It's in there. I don't know. I like it, I guess. Reinforced Truth. Now, I do like this card. This allows you to special summon one level 2 or lower monster from your deck, warrior type monster from your deck. But the only bad thing is you cannot conduct your battle phase the turn you activate this card, but it's still pretty sick. Tuner's Barrier. This is pretty much save your tuner monster from being destroyed because Jack's cards and Akiza's card is completely trash Yusei's deck. Next card we got coming up is Urgent Tuning, Junk Synchron, Speed Warrior, and Junk Warrior. Pretty cool to see all three of them on there, so you know that's a Yusei card. Next card we have is Descending Lost Star. Jack also has this card. Pretty much allows you to summon back your Synchro monster from the graveyard. It loses 1 star, and also its defense becomes 0, and it's placed in defense position on your side of the field. So, I don't know, it's got its benefits, and it doesn't.
And the position can't be changed either.
Yeah, that's the problem. Spirit Force, active only during damage calculation during your opponent's turn. You take no damage from battle. You take no damage from battle. Then you can add 1 warrior type monster with 1500 or less from your graveyard to your hand. So that's kind of a Speed Warrior hitter, I guess. You can take Speed Warrior out of your graveyard and any other warrior type, I guess you could say, and add them to your hand. I like that card. For our final card, guys, I thought this would be a good final card. We got Starlight Road. Active only when effect is activated that will destroy 2 or more cards you control. Negate the effect and destroy that card. Then you can special summon 1 Stardust Dragon from your extra deck.
Oh, that's bad.
Yeah, so you guys can definitely tell that's a super sweet card. And guys, if you waited around for the entire video, this is what we had to show you.
We've got Jack Atlas coming up. There's your Red Dragon Archfiend. We're going to be doing that deck profile since we had the duel. Then we've got Black Rose Dragon, and I believe the name is Akiza?
Yep, Akiza.
Akiza, yeah, that's her big monster right there, and I love that card. It's
definitely.
neat looking.
Really sweet looking.
Alright, and then we got something I'm really happy and excited about. We're making a Tim deck, and we have Harakati, the creator god of light, or creator of light. And of course, you summon this with all 3 god cards, you win the duel. But I'm excited about that deck.
Our Tim deck's going to be sick.
The Tim deck's going to be awesome. And then we have Destiny Hero Malicious, and this is, and I can never remember this guy's name. What is his name?
Astro Phoenix.
Astro Phoenix.
Astro Phoenix deck profile.
Yeah. So that's what we've got coming your way, guys. Make sure to leave us a comment, like, subscribe, and check out the rest of our videos. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Peace.